Well, hey there, folks. How's everybody doing today? I'm Jack, and this is Raw Tropical Living, and I'd love to welcome you to the channel. Hope the week's off to a good start for you. Just a typical Monday for me. Nothing wrong with it. Monday's just another day of the week. I like Monday just as much as I like any other days of the week. Let's get right to it. Today I want to talk about the best raw food diet recipes, and I got a bonus recipe included for you. Guys, I make videos every day, so if you have not already subscribed to the channel, please go down and hit that big red subscribe button. Then make sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Recipes, recipes. Everybody's always looking for recipes, aren't they? What are you looking for in recipes? Or are you just looking at recipes? I think there's recipe fans out there. I've come to that conclusion because nobody can be just making every recipe, and sometimes I'll even see the same person in one day. They kind of tend to pop up in my feed, and they've asked for 4 different recipes. They ain't making all those recipes, and they buy the books and they do this and that. But hey, it's all good. I don't know. Maybe that's just kind of a hobby type thing, because as I've been downsizing this house and getting rid of a lot of stuff, my mother's got recipe books from everywhere, so I don't know though. I'm just not really into this endless search for recipes. I tend to stumble onto recipes, or I have recipes, or I create recipes, or I have recipes from other sources or whatever. But I tend to get clusters, or I tend to get a new recipe, or I tend to have like 2 or 3 recipes at a time that I'm really working hard. I don't ever have a lot of recipes in my repertoire, but that's kind of how I ate when I ate a standard American diet. Sometimes it's like people think because they're on Raw, they have to be innovative and creative every single meal and come up with something new. Why? Why? Did you do that when you were eating on the standard American diet, or however you ate before you ate like this? Did you literally eat something different every night? No, you probably had those 4 or 5, meals that were kind of your standard, and you probably cycled through them, added an extra in there. But anyhow, for me, I've always kind of been like that. And especially if I find a couple or 3 recipes that I really like, I go hard. I go hard. It's like when I think it was when I had first started making that mango red pepper dressing, or maybe I just went through a period of doing it, but I think I made that one like 26 days, 27 days out of 1 month one time. But last week I stumbled across some recipes I liked, and I made a few of them. Actually early last week, made one about 2 or 3 times, and then stumbled into another one, and then stumbled into another one. And I noticed one thing about all these recipes, and it's how my mind goes. And it's just like my mind processes things, filters them, kicks them out, blah, blah, blah. I see a lot, I'm always online, I'm always on social media, I'm looking at food, I'm reaching out to people, I'm searching hashtags for research, whatever. I'm always seeing all this beautiful food. And I see a ton of recipes myself. And sometimes I see something, I'm like, ooh, I want to make that. And I click, or either it's got it under it, and I start reading the recipe. And it's like when the ingredient list gets to a certain size or amount, I just start kind of fading away. Or if it's complicated, if it has, I don't have like a set number, but my brain knows it. Like if it has too many ingredients and too many steps to it, and it's just all this and that, I'm not going to do it. The recipes that I like, and the recipes that really go to the to the top of my list, are the ones that are super easy, but I also really like too. It's a trade-off. It's not all about ease. You could make something super easy and it's kind of or maybe it's just, it's doable, it's serviceable, but it's not all that. But I've come onto some lately, and like I say, I've got one to share with you that I made yesterday for the very first time. Doesn't need any adjustments, doesn't need any tweaking, or not for me. I would always encourage, take any recipes and make them your own. But that's what always works for me, is the super, super simple. Like I say, if I've got and the recipe that I'm going to give you today has 1, 2, 3. I'll have to really think again, look at a little set. It's got like 3 or 4 ingredients. It really takes nothing Nothing, nothing, nothing. And that's what I like. I like a small amount of ingredients. I like something, and also too, I like something that can be put together really quick, because a lot of times I'm spur of the moment, or I don't know what I want, or I'm like, ooh, that looks good. I think I'm going to make that right now. So that's one thing that's very important for me. Very important for me is that it's easy and it's not, doesn't have all the ingredients in it. Also too, that it's not expensive. There's some recipes that I like that are fairly easy, but things in this area, bump up that cost on it. Like even if I had access to mangoes, I'd have to be a little bit careful doing that more access to mangoes. I have access sometime, but like that red pepper dressing. Red peppers are $1.68 here. So I noticed one thing that I used to make in Costa Rica for really cheap, just a couple of ingredients I put in here made it more of an expensive thing. So it's got to be simple, easy to make. Can't be ridiculously expensive ingredients. But then also the best recipes are the ones you like, stuff that you really like. That's why I'm always saying, like personalize your own recipes. Take other people's recipes and like tweak them a little bit. I don't ever, maybe there's one time I've done it, but I almost never take somebody's recipe and make it exactly as it is. Except for these uber simple ones. There's a few of them that are 3 and 4 ingredients that I do, but all the stuff that I eat, it passed that test. It's not like, okay, I'm just getting by. And I do come up with those sometimes, like the recipes that are just like, well, it's not bad. And I'll eat it, and I'll eat it again, but I'm just not going to double down on it. But if I get a recipe that I really like, I'll definitely, if I get something I like today and I eat it today, probably going to eat it again tomorrow. And I'm probably going to eat it at least 3 or 4 times within the first week. So you don't have, listen, everybody's in these mad hunts for who's got the recipe book, who's got this recipe, who's got that recipe. But if you had a repertoire, think quality and think ease. If you've got, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 recipes that you really like and they're really easy to make, now, I'm not saying you'd never eat anything else again. This is going to take you forever. But that 7 to 10 recipes could pretty much be the bulk of your diet. You could pretty much rotate them over and over and over, and and that would be it. With the occasional saying you're going out to eat at a raw vegan restaurant or a vegan restaurant or whatever, or the occasional thing that you eat that maybe you find a recipe that you like. You make it once or so, and you're not going to do it. Because I'll do that too. Now, I do have some recipes that aren't as uber easy as I like. They involve more steps. So what I'll find myself doing, and this is when I'm in food making mode. You've watched this channel. I go through those periods where I'm just like, I don't feel like fooling with food. I don't feel like making food. We'll just have smoothies and ice cream. But my MO will be something like this, like the recipes that are super easy, very few ingredients, 3 or 4 ingredients that you can do quickly. Those I'll do, a number of times throughout the week. Now the other ones, and I do have a few, I have some that, have 7, 8, 10 ingredients in there, and they take a few more steps. They take a little bit of preparation. They take a little bit more work. Those tend to be a little bit more sparse for me. I know there's those little chipper people that are in the kitchen all the time. Chop, 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 chop. It's kind of psychotic to be in a kitchen chopping all the time. I just couldn't live a damn life of chopping all the time. But I do have recipes, and I like to have that special meal from time to time. So, even like once a week when I'm in food making mode, I don't mind, taking one day during the week to prepare a recipe that takes a little bit more. But the bulk of them are going to be super easy, but they're going to be tasty. So to kind of start wrapping this up, I'm just kind of repeating myself over and over. Look for recipes that are easy. Look for recipes that you really, really, really like. Personalize those recipes. Learn to come up with recipes of your own, because then when you're standing around the house, kind of like I did with a green soup today, you kind of got the chops to make food, and you can be like, okay, I'm just going to kind of throw this stuff together. And those might be the best of all, where you're just like, and you're just, maybe cleaning up your refrigerator or cleaning up what's in the kitchen. All right. those are the best recipes in my opinion, just some of the characteristics. Here's the bonus little recipe for you. This will work good as a dip. I don't know if I'm not sure I've ever had proper baba ganoush, but maybe it's similar to that, but super, super simple recipe, and you're going to like this one. Okay, I took about half, and the first step, I think it's better when you marinate it, but you don't have to. I took about half of a medium eggplant, and I cubed it up. It was a good bit. It was a good bit. So I cubed it up. I put it in a bowl, and I let it marinate for about 7 hours during the day. I put it in the windowsill, but we didn't really have sun. So in there I had, and what you marinate it in's up to you. It's not that big of a deal. So you don't have to like, oh, what do you say, blah, blah, blah. I had lemon juice. I put just a tiny bit. I think I put a couple of caps of Bragg's apple cider vinegar. I put a little bit of Bragg's aminos in there. And I put some smoked paprika. And throughout the day, I'd come back along and stir this up. All right, when it was done, when I was ready to make the recipe, I put 2 cloves of garlic. I didn't put the liquid in there. I drained and I put the eggplant in. I put a heaping tablespoon of tahini, and I put a little bit of smoked paprika in there again. It came out perfect. I put just a little bit of water in with that. Play with your water to, based on your consistency, but that is a good one. And then I had some cucumber around the house. So I just cut up some little cucumber chips and I dipped it, but it was nice and thick, really nice consistency. Like I say, be careful with the water. Be real careful with the water, just enough. Actually, try it without the water. I'm trying to think. I may not. No. I didn't use water for that. Don't use water for that. You don't need water for that. It's just the 2 cloves. I had to remember because I made a similar recipe with something else last week. It's just the 2 cloves of garlic, the eggplant, the tahini, and a little bit of smoked paprika. You won't be disappointed with that. That one I'm definitely making again this week. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.